Yo, what is up, everyone? Another week, and I'm back. This week, I do have a new video for you because I was inspired, or should I say more agitated, about some news on Twitter this week. And happy about something else. So let's start with the better thing. Let's start with the better news. So, as many of you know, or maybe you don't know, I am a big Willy Wonka fan. Okay. And the 71 version is my favorite. The Johnny Depp version is eh. And then, as you know, the new one came out, and I had trepidation about it, but I wound up liking it. So, this week on Tuesday, it came out on streaming. And I think you'd probably buy it on physical too, probably. I mean, I didn't go to the store or anything to see, but I'm sure they still sell, even though, at some point, we all know physical's going to die at some point. I think they're probably still selling it. They're still trying to make some cash flow off of that. But as you know, I like it. And please, I suggest everyone go and watch it. Go and stream it. It's good. I liked it. I did like it to the point where I have it. So I think everybody should give it a shot. I mean, maybe you didn't want to go to the movies theater and spend $1 million just to go see a movie. I get that. But you should definitely stream it. And the kids can watch it. You're good. So that came out this week, and I was like, cool, and I was happy about that. And then 2 other things were trending. One was, I think you all know this guy right here, or maybe you don't, but I think most of you who probably listen to me or have watched me or whatever know who Beetlejuice is. Well, this week, the new poster for it dropped, and the name, which is called Beetlejuice. Now, when it comes to Beetlejuice and this sequel, again, I'm nervous. There's been no trailer yet. So nobody really knows what this. I mean, you've seen like behind the scenes stuff, and you see those still pictures and all that, but you don't know really what it's going to be about or whatever. I mean, I believe, again, I didn't even really read stuff about it. I'd rather wait for the trailer, but I believe Ortega is her daughter, Lydia's daughter, I believe, in the sequel. And Michael Keaton's back and all that. That's great. I like member berries, but I just don't want member berries. I want a good story. I want a good sequel. I want something worth bringing these characters back for. I don't want them just brought back for eye candy. I want them brought back for a good story. So again, I'm not going to say anything about that right now, but I'm nervous about it, what it's going to be. And even when it comes to, and I didn't even think of this for today, but for the newer Ghostbusters, the second one of the new one coming out, of the new series, like the kids, Egon's grandkids and all that, it's a lot of member berries in that. A lot. They're really pushing the even more member berries than they did on the other one where they popped in. And I don't know. I'm probably going to see it because there's just nothing to watch out in the movies, and I still like to go to a movie. So I'll probably see it, but jeez, my gosh, I wish there was just good movies. And then the je ne sais quoi, which made me want to make this video for this week, was a new Megamind. Like, what? Were people screaming for Megamind? Did I miss something? Did I totally miss something where like Megamind was this big ass thing? Because I even when it was new, it wasn't a big ass thing. It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it was no big ass thing. So I don't know how all of a sudden we needed more Megamind. You know, and it's almost getting that feel like Groot. It almost feels like Groot, but you just put Megamind in it. It's like the Sinister Six, the Doom Syndicate faces. You could just throw Groot up there. So I don't know, man. And then on top of it, on top of all that, on top of all that, they're packing on the end of it a whole series. A whole series, man. Multiple episodes on top of the movie. I did not know Megamind was needed this much in 2024. I had no idea. So, putting all that together, I thought, man, there have been a lot of movies that should have stayed where they were and not had been remade and not had sequels or remakes or any of those. We can just group them all together and taking something that was good and fucking with it, basically. It could all be grouped into that category. So I thought, why not look at some of the ones that I came up with, and then I have 2 articles that have their choices. And I thought we'd do that for today because I think Hollywood, a message to Hollywood, stop. Come up with some new stuff. There's a lot of books out there. There's a lot of books that you can probably make movies from without even have to do a lot of work. Okay? We don't need more sequels. We don't need more remakes. We don't need reimaginings. We don't need it. Come up with new stuff, please. So, that being said, let's go with number 1 here. So, the Blues Brothers. Now, I don't know. Some of you younger people, if you're listening, you're not going to know what the Blues Brothers are. You may know some of the guys in it. Speaking of Ghostbusters, there's Dan Aykroyd right there to the left, and then John Belushi. Now, unfortunately, John, again, when I go through this, everyone, I'm not going to be giving you synopsis of stories. I'm not going to give you all these details on each movie. We're just going to go through it. I'm going to give you a quick little thing on each and why, and we're going to move on. Because, again, I don't want this to be real long. So, Blues Brothers. Then, apparently, we needed to have Blues Brothers 2000. We really needed it. Now, John Belushi couldn't be in it. He was dead. Dan Aykroyd was still alive. And then they replaced him with a kid. There was a time in those, in the 90s, early 2000s when you could just throw a sidekick of a kid and you thought that was just a good movie then. But that being said, not a good sequel. Should have never been made. Another iconic movie, Jaws. Again, I don't know who's seen it, who hasn't seen it out there. You know of it, though. Everyone knows the song, the music when the shark attacks. Everyone knows that stuff. Well, there were multiple sequels. I didn't think Jaws 2 was that bad. But when I went and saw this freaking train wreck in the movies, I went to the movies and saw it. Okay? In the movies in 3D. Which it wasn't all that great back then. But horrible. It's a horrible movie. Not even really good horrible. Like, I'd never gone back and watched it again. It's just not good. It's just not good. All right. If you listen to me or know anything about me, you know that is another big movie for me. Karate Kid. Big movie. Love it. Love it. Multiple sequels, and multiple sequels were good. And the series is good, Cobra Kai. So there are sometimes gold nuggets in the shit. Okay? I'm not going to say there isn't. But in most cases, it is not. It is not good, the sequel, the reimagination, whatever. Okay? So 2 was good. Okay? 3 was good. I didn't mind that. Once they hit 4, and I put the Spanish version up here, El Nueve Karate Kid. So, I just hit my microphone. So, now Daniel-san wasn't in it anymore, okay? He wasn't in it. And they brought in someone else. Didn't work for me. Not saying anything about her as an actress. Again, it wasn't her. It was the writing, and there wasn't that chemistry. It was gone. The chemistry was gone. So it just wasn't the same. Should have never been made. Should have never been made. I don't even like that it's even part of the mythos of it. And if that wasn't bad enough, then we had to go and reimagine it. I watched it once because I wanted to give it a chance. I would never watch it again. It is a terrible movie. They should have just wrote a movie set like this and not called it a Karate Kid and made it another movie, because it wasn't good. It just wasn't good story writing. It wasn't. And I'll never watch it again. There is only one Karate Kid for me, and that's it. All right. Lion King. Now, there was sequels to The Lion King, cartoon sequels to The Lion King, okay? They were not bad. They were not bad. But of course, good old Disney, we love you. You had to go and say, hey, how could we make this even better? Well, we need to make it live action. We need to make it live action because that's what everybody wants. Nope, nobody wanted it, and it showed. But it made enough for them. There was enough people that went and said, hey, what's this? To make them want to make more live action stuff. Should I mention Pinocchio? Now, this one really bothered me. This is a classic. Wes Craven classic movie, the original, very first one of Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, again, multiple sequels, a lot of sequels, okay? But they were good. Most of them were good, okay? But that wasn't good enough. We have to take that name and drag it through the mud. So we have to reimagine it now. And they had to make it so like his burns look different, a little more realistic, his burns, and made everything more realistic and all that. But that's not what we wanted for a horror movie. We didn't want a documentary. We wanted a horror movie. And he's a good actor, but he didn't work for this. He did good in The Watchmen and shit like that, but he didn't work for me in this. Here's another horror movie. Poltergeist. Classic. Freaking classic horror movie. Okay? Multiple sequels again. Number 2, I thought was good. I actually thought 2 was really good. After that, though, you got into 3 and 4 and all that. No, thank you. They weren't good. So, again, sometimes some sequels are good, but sometimes they should just stop. But no, that wasn't good enough. We have to take that name, and we have to reimagine it. It's kind of small, but I'm not going to mess with it right now. They remade it. Watched it once, never watch it again. Not a good movie. Shouldn't have touched it. Didn't have the same feel as the classic. Oh, man, this one's small too, but that's okay. Another one. Classic. RoboCop. Another classic. There was a RoboCop 2. Wasn't bad. But then they had to go in, reimagine it. Not as good. Didn't have the same feel. You know, the practical effects and stuff of the 80s and the 90s, they've trashed most of that. Most movies are all CGI crap. At minimum, have some kind of mixture of both. There's something about practical effects in a movie that really make it magical. And I just don't know why they stopped. Because it seems like doing the computer stuff is more expensive than if they did practical in the long run. All right, one more on my list. The Mask. Jim Carrey. Another iconic movie of his. Everybody knows quotes from it. This one was a sequel. They went and made Son of the Mask. Terrible movie. Terrible movie. unnecessary. Thought they can strike, have lightning strike twice. It certainly did not. Not even close. Not even close. So now I'm going to bring up two articles and see what some other people thought of what were bad sequels or um, reimagining or remakes or whatever. So this next one was done by Script Lab. And they have the top 10 best and worst remakes. So let's see what these guys have to say. We're going to spend a lot of time on this, but let's go through. Bedazzled. Now, I didn't know this was an original. There's Dudley Moore, and I forget what this actor's name is, but he's a famous actor too. And then there's the one that I know that had Brendan Fraser in it. I did not know that was a remake, but to be honest with you, I didn't think the remake was good, and I don't know if I'd probably like the original. I just didn't really like it. But I could see that. Carrie, yes. Classic. Not as good with this one. It's pointless remake that hinges on cinematic prom dance sequence. Yeah, it really builds everything around that iconic scene, is what they're saying. And it's really not as good. The story's not as good. Death Wish now, dude. This one I know. I watched the original 74. Okay. And I watched it when I was young too. Not a movie any kid should see. Not appropriate. But so let's see what it says about it, because I didn't watch the Bruce Willis remake. Eli Roth offers a more glitzy retelling of the story of a husband. Yeah, takes revenge. Yeah, so he didn't have as many. I mean, he had some one-liners in Death Wish, iconic ones, but remade and the remains of this product on bad times. Celebrated with gun toting really doesn't play right in the current times. Yeah, it wasn't. It's not the same times. So yeah, I could see why it didn't do well. But again, I don't think it needed to be remade. Footloose definitely didn't need to be remade. Another classic. People know Footloose. They know Kevin Bacon. They know the dance sequence from it. I mean, it's in Fortnite. That din, 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 din. I mean, that's from Footloose. And they just made it all about, and it wasn't all about the dancing. There was a good story in there. There was acting. And apparently, I didn't watch the new one, but apparently they're saying the newer one was more about the dancing and the musical. It was more like a musical. I thought the original was musical-esque, a little different than a musical, in my opinion. Mummy, saw the original. I had no want or need to see the remake at all. So I can't tell you from that. But and I think they were trying to rebuild the whole universe, the monster universe and stuff. They've been trying to build that up now forever and have like a cohesive monster universe with all different movies, like the Marvel universe. But call it that. But they're having that epic universe thing coming to the park. So I don't know. Maybe they're going to finally do it right or something, or see if people like that shit. I don't know. We'll see. What else we got? Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yep, I agree. We already went over that. Pinocchio. See, I mentioned that. Wasn't necessary. Again, Point Break. Good movie. Keanu Reeves and R.I.P. Patrick Swayze, man. Great movie. Good story. Didn't need to be remade. However, the end product is bland and forgettable. See? Because you can't catch lightning twice. Psycho 2. And I love him. But, dude, you did not need Vince Vaughn in Psycho, dude. Didn't need it. Red Dawn again, dude. How do you even touch Red Dawn? How do you even touch Red Dawn? I wouldn't even want to make a sequel of it. And then you have to change certain things to make certain people. Man, it should have left it alone. It should have left it alone. Godzilla Rollerball, Wicker Man. I could see all that. Let's see what they say the bests are. The next 3 days, don't even know that movie. The Birdcage. Now, this one took me by surprise. I did not know it was a remake. I love The Birdcage. Great movie. Great movie. I had no idea that it was. I actually kind of knew it was based off La Cage. That was big when I was younger. Like there would be a traveling show; they'd have it all over the place. I didn't know that that was directly based off of that, but I kind of knew, I guess. So that's interesting. That's interesting. But yes, that's a good movie. And again, I knew Cape Fear was based off. I never saw the original, but classic. Classic. At some point, I really got to check out the original so I can make a good comparison. Again, The Departed, I didn't know was based off of, is that China or Japan? Hong Kong version. Hong Kong version. Now, this next one, I don't know if I agree. If you want to talk production and cinematics, obviously the new one's better. It looks so much better. But there's just that feel, again, that practical thing to it. And just the period and the way it looks and how gross, what's his name is, his face and everything. I don't know. Maybe it's just I hold a special place in my heart for the original, and the new one is better. Maybe it's just that. I don't know. Let's finish this off. Father of the Bride. Again, this is another one I had no idea was a remake. I had no idea, but it's a freaking remake. So at some point I wanted to see the original, but Steve Martin, anything family, Steve Martin was the father. You know, he had all the kids. Was it just the 10 of us or something? Something like that. Father of the Bride. All those movies were great. The sequel to Father of the Bride was good. I like both of them, to be honest with you. Again, there is a sequel turned out good, and I like it. I would suggest watching both. The Fly, they were both good. Did we need the second one? I don't know, but it was good. I gotta say it was good. Gross as shit, though. Gross as fuck. Heat, to be honest with you, I know most people are going to get mad at me. I never watched Heat. And I didn't know it was based off of LA Takedown. So I can't really say much about that. And I had no idea the Magnificent Seven was based off of Samurais. The Seven Samurais. That I had no idea. So basically an Americanized version of that. And the Magnificent Seven is a classic, and I haven't seen that one either. I'm not a big Western person. So I'm not going to give you anything on that. And Ocean's 11 I knew was... I've seen Ocean's 11. I didn't see the original, so I don't really have anything to say about that. But obviously, people love that version. So that was pretty good. And now here, let's go over this. Let's see if there's some overlap. But on this one, we got the top 20 unnecessary Hollywood remakes of all time. So let's see what they say. All right, MovieWeb. Psycho, we went over already. Planet of the Apes. Now, the original, again, classic. No CGI. They had to use practical effects with everything. And I saw the newer one. They probably could have left it alone. Now there's another one coming out. There's another one. I don't know when. This year, I think, sometime. There's another one coming out. And I haven't even watched anyone's past the first one. I haven't watched. So, I don't know. But I don't know. People like them. They wouldn't keep making them, I guess. I don't know. This one, shouldn't have fucking touched it. Shouldn't have touched it. I don't think the newer one brought anything. Taxi, again, I didn't watch that one. Wicker Man was unnecessary, but anytime you can bring my man over here into anything, you do it. When you can cageify something, you do it. That man will work. 7 movies at a time, he'll work. The Day the Earth Stood Still, I did watch, and I watched the original. That was good. This one, the remake was okay. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Now you're getting into my homeboy, Jason, my favorite. I don't know if you can see in the back. I have the original poster, movie poster, up on my wall. He is my favorite horror character When I was young, I dressed as him when I was young for Halloween, which people still do to this day. But I did when I was younger. Loved the first one, even though he wasn't in it. Obviously, my favorite is the third one, though, when he got the hockey mask. But still, first one, the iconic first one, is the best. And the remake was garbage. You didn't need it. I never watched it again. I've watched the first one hundreds of times. I've only watched the remake once. Not good. Unnecessary. I agree. Now we already went over Nightmare on Elm Street. Unnecessary. We already went over Karate Kid. I agree. Unnecessary. Footloose. Again, I agree. Unnecessary. Red Dawn. Yep. Total Recall. 2 weeks. How do you touch that? The amount of iconic phrases and scenes in that movie, it's right up there with Running Man, in my opinion. They're right there with each other. Total Recall and Running Man are right there with each other. Now, again, I love him as an actor. Okay? I really do. I did not see him in this. And I watched this once. Again. Total Recall with Arnold, hundreds of times. It just didn't do it for me. It just didn't do it for me. You know, he put a spin on it, and it didn't need it. Carrie, we went over that. Old Boy. Now, I didn't see the new one. I saw the original. And it didn't need it. I agree. It was unnecessary. But again, a lot of movies are based off of Japanese or Chinese movies and TV a lot of times, and you wouldn't even know. Maybe one day I'll do a list of some of those that are based off of, in Britain and Australia. We take a lot of things and Americanize them and spit them out over here. RoboCop we did. Martyrs, I don't know that movie. That one I might have to check out. I don't know that one. Poltergeist we went over. Ghostbusters, that's 2016. That was definitely unnecessary. Lion King we went over, and Pinocchio. So, there you have it. The ratio of garbage to sequels and stuff that were... Sequels work a lot more than reimaginings and remakes do. A lot more. But even that ratio is small as hell. A lot of sequels don't land. But reimagining, leave it. I don't want any we can do away with reimagining 100%. All right? Remake, I'd like to see a lot less of that. Maybe once in a while, if it's actually going to bring something to the movie, enhance the story, then okay. Fine. Then do it. Otherwise, leave it. We don't need more remakes. And sequels, use them sparingly as well, please, Hollywood. We crave new things. Okay? New stories that appreciate what it's taken from. And again, good story. That's what we want. Look at what's making money. That's all you got to do is look at what's making money. That's it. That's what you got to do. And then do that again. And not just make a sequel. Make that potion what made that great and make something new with it. And then do all your marketing and what you will off of it. Just look at Super Mario. That's all you got to do. It's been running on Netflix crazy, man. Crazy on Netflix. It just keeps me in the top 10. Because people love it. So, yeah. That is the show for today. Right at 30 minutes. I love it when a plan comes together. So, please, Hollywood, tone it down with that stuff. I would appreciate some new, exciting cinema, please. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you see and hear, please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you're going to do on any platform you're on. Whatever that thing is, please do it. Want to see all our links? Go to our Instagram. It's right there at the bottom. Link is in the bio for all the links you could ever need. We're out on podcasts. If you just want to listen to us and not look at my mug, I get it. And yeah, thank you for anybody who's actually listening and bringing it to the end. Like always, I'll be here. You have a great week. Until I see you again. Peace.
Go to Harris, I'm telling you, I'm better. Bye. Go to Harris, I'm telling you, I'm better.
See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Harris, I'm telling you.